Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if everything with the audio sounds alright. It looks okay from my end. Let's see. Gotta pull this up. Just so we'll have it ready. And swap this back over. So yeah, we're jumping back in. It is our solo RPG stream. We're gonna jump in and do that. This is session 25. And yeah, we got quite a bit going on. We finished clearing out that chalk pit mine, and unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to sort of pawn Rimefire off at this moment. But he's agreed to accompany us back, so hopefully that will work out for the best. Let's go ahead and, before we jump into it, go ahead and give sort of a recap of what we did last time. So at the start of last session, we literally started with rolling initiative. We had that fight with the Black Dragon Wormling, which we were not in a good spot when we started that fight. It was really not a fight we were prepared to take on. Luckily, Rimefire was very, very clutch with his paralyzing breath, and then the Black Dragon really suffered saving out of it. They didn't do a very good job of that. And so it actually made that combat surprisingly easy. Unfortunately, that would probably be the best of our rolls for most of that session. Because after that, we took a short rest to recuperate because we desperately needed it. Went back into the dungeon and took the right path and didn't find anything, except a dead end. We kind of left Rimefire behind to sort of guard the entrance in case more wormlings or other dragons showed up behind us. Didn't want to get caught unawares. And then we went left to just kind of finish going through this little complex. And we were following some weird sounds to find sort of a prismatic ooze that was sort of a sovereign glue / dimensional anchor. So that way if you got stuck to this ooze that was covering the hallway, you were going to be stuck there and you wouldn't be able to teleport out of it. And it works like sovereign glue, so it's very, very sticky. It's very, very hard to sort of get yourself unstuck from. We ended up with Leah, Omer, and Del getting stuck in it. We were able to sort of free everyone with sort of like a medicinal concoction that was sort of a solvent that we put together that sort of was able to sort of get us out of there, but we didn't have enough to really do any more. So we kind of let that be for now. We rappelled down the east side of the overpass, sort of that chamber that opens up, and then there's a way down, so we sort of rappelled down that. Found 3 hobgoblins had recaged a hippogriff. They had some other cages. They were clearly keeping animals here. I think that fairy dragon was in league with Norkruuth, and sort of his ability to sort of capture and transport monsters. So Leah failed to persuade Delg to continue the fight. Delg went back to Rimefire. Some stayed for the hobgoblin fight, but wanted to basically stay on the upper passage where he would be a little bit safer. The combat went okay. We survived. On the bodies, we ended up finding a map with directions, but nobody speaks Goblin, so we don't know what they say. We ended up finding a harmonica that was probably one of the most valuable things we found in the game in this little side adventure. We also found a common gemstone. And in the camp, we found a little bit of money, and we found some goats that they were clearly using to feed themselves and the things like the hippogriff. We did show Rimefire the dungeon. He's interested in staying, right? He's interested in staying, but with Norkruuth still being a threat, he knows that Norkruuth knows of this location, so he doesn't feel safe turning this into like his dragon's lair. Even though he likes it, because he knows that Norkruuth knows where it is, so Norkruuth's likely to show up again. And having already been imprisoned by Norkruuth once, he doesn't really want to do it again. Rimefire was able to, once we brought him in, he was able to freeze the weird ooze, and we were able to sort of chip it off the walls and get back into that back area. We got interrupted by Rice's secretary. Rice needs our help. He's been trying to chase down Leah. and to help him visit Akari Liaden in Split Valley Oasis, who we already know quite well. We convinced Bossam to go home without escort. He made it here safely. We figured he could make it back safely. That Leah and Omer convinced Rimefire to accompany them back to pick up Arias at Karjunton and head west to Split Valley Oasis to see Akari. So the only condition Rimefire had to that is that he wants us to cut through the area that Naida identified as having a potential lair for him. So that way, if we come across something, you know, they have to help him clear it so he can find a safe place to make a home, basically. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all of the last session. We got quite a bit done and kind of tied that up. So, unfortunately, that puts us back into the road, kind of heading back to Karjunton. And so we have a few session goals, sort of like what we're doing first. And I'll go ahead and transition this over so you guys can see what I'm looking at. There you go. So yeah, so obviously we need to travel back to Karjunton, and then we have a litany of different things we can do once we get there. We also need to still find that safe lair for Rimefire. That's really kind of dragging our feet on this. And we need to try to pick up any leads on the Mint or Slaver's Affliction. And we also have the missive for Norkruuth, in case we run into him. Though at this point, we've had so much bad blood between Leah and the rest of the gang and Norkruuth that I'm not really sure that's talking is going to be an option for most of that. I don't feel like. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll be wrong. Because I think there's quite a bit of bad blood there now. So I'm not sure if we're really going to try to track that down. And I really need to sit down and kind of go back through some of this stuff and really sort of reorganize it. It's been a few sessions since I've sort of like put things together, and I kind of need to sit down and do that. I luckily had some time this week to sort of sit down and do that with some of my computer files that kind of sprawled out of control. I just need to sit down and do it with this. Maybe I can do that maybe this weekend. Maybe make an opportunity to do that. One thing to add, after this specific session, we're going to take a short break, and then I'm actually going to start restreaming. And I think I'm going to restream episodes. Sorry, I'm actually bringing it up. I think I'm going to stream episodes 1 through 20 of this whole solo RPG series. So obviously we're on episode 25, so you're going to get most of it, because I know that there are a number of people who sort of tuned into the videos or tuned into some of the sessions now that feel maybe a little bit lost. So I want to give the opportunity for people to be able to sit down and, you know, put it on the background, working whatever they're doing, or check out the VODs later that have gone by, and be able to sort of catch up with it all in one spot. So it should run for quite a bit. It's quite a long series, so if you're interested in that, we're going to start it all the way up from, you know, episode 1, session 1, where we're sort of setting up the world. And we'll do that a little bit after I finish with the stream. And let's see. Alright, so those are our session goals. That's what we're trying to do. So let's get down to our session start. We actually do need to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get too far ahead. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to finish our long rest. Alright, and we need to update the sheets, because I have not done that yet. So let's do that here. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. So we're back to full health. And we've got our spell slots back. I guess technically we only get 2 hit dice back. You don't get them all back. Because it's half your level rounded up, right? I think that's the only time you round up in 5e. I think that's it for her. For Omer, at max hit points, he will get all his hit dice back. We still have 1 in reserve. Otherwise, he looks okay. I think Delg's in a very similar situation. Yeah, he'll get all his hit dice back, as well, and he'll be good to go. So, yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot with these guys. Now, one of the big things that we really want to do when we get back to Karjunton is we need to find Ott, or stumble our way into finding somebody else who can make some other sort of adventurous type of person who can help us fight. Because right now, Leah's really our only combatant, and she's a wizard, so she can't really take hits, right, if she gets in combat. So, that, and, you know, our whole point here is that we're trying to lose Rimefire, who is, without argument, our second best combatant at this moment in the party. Alright, I think that's it. I don't think I rolled for things. I should roll for things. I don't think I rolled for our supplies, so I should do that. Alright, what's our feed looking like? Ooh, our feed's gone down. That's okay. We can buy some more when we get to town. How about our rations? Oh no, our rations are also down. And we did use some torches in here, so... How are our torches doing? Our torches are alright. Alright, rations not that great. That's okay. We're heading back to the city, so we shouldn't have any problem. Now, let's look at the map. So, we're here. And Karjunton's over here, so it's nearly a straight shot if we want to go across. Do we also want to look for... That's an interesting idea, actually. Do we want to look for... I think we can go straight back. I think the contingency of the agreement we made with Rimefire is that on the way out we would go through some of those hexes that we haven't looked at yet. But not the way back. I think that is sort of how that contingency works, right? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, we have to cut through the area. Alright, yeah. Perfect. So, yeah. So that way we can make a little bit shorter distance. We don't have to do this sort of circle and go back action to try to hit some of those. So we can just make a beeline sort of for Karjunton, which will be good. Alright, we've completed our rest. Let's set our adventuring day for our hex roll. Alright, so our progression's at 0. We need to set our constitution threshold. Now, of course, we have the mule carrying supply, so that gives us advantage. Alright, good. We're at a 20. That's a good place to start. We're going to get quite a bit done. And we're just traveling, so we're not in the exploration phase really anymore. We're not really looking for things, so we're just kind of traveling. So this is just to see if something comes across. We'll fill out some of the map if we see things, or hopefully if things don't jump out and try to grab us. So let's go ahead and start. I think we're going to move down into this area. Let's do that. Which can be D4 and D12. Good. So we only take 1 point of movement. That's a really good way to start. But we go right into an encounter. Well, that's a real kick in the teeth. Alright, so we're going to have some sort of random encounter right off the bat. Let's see. Do we see any sort of POI while we're there? Running by? No. Okay. Alright, well, let's find out what this is going to be. Alright, so technically we have... I mean, I'm going to say that we have 4 combatants, because we're going to have Rimefire with us. But I think it's probably sticking close, because as far as we know, we're not going to run into any towns. So I think he's sticking close. Let's make this a hard encounter. And let's set a filter. So we are technically going through the desert, technically. We're just going this way because we think it's going to be faster than taking the long way around. I'd say desert, but I'd also say maybe sort of grasslands, right? Or plains. I forget what they call it. Dungeon Forest, grassland, there it is. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, make me an encounter. What do we got? Ooh, lions and hobgoblins. Which one do we think that we're more likely to run across? Let's just roll for it. If we roll low, it'll be the lions. Well, it doesn't get any lower than that. That's a 1. I'm glad we used it on that. And I just accidentally dropped that. That was done. Yeah, I don't need that roll, but don't want to close that. Alright, so how many lions are we going to get here? Alright, so up to 3 lions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 lions, alright. I'm pretty sure that those are... yeah, it's gotta be in the standard rules. Alright. I think with something like this, so we're walking through this sort of the edge of the desert on the end, so they're probably not necessarily a lion, but a type of predatory cat that's like that. Maybe something that's a little bit more like a panther, a jaguar, or something that's a little bit more plains, fast-moving than an actual lion. But we'll go ahead and go with that for the stat block. So it's gonna look... oh, lions are large beasts. Interesting. So they're gonna look at us, they're gonna see... potentially... nobody wears heavy armor in this party. And we do have some animals with us. We do have some light armored people. And Rimefire is only a medium creature and he's flying. So... I'm trying to think, how far out are they starting? Alright, they're starting about 60 out. So they're about 60 feet out. And let's ask our first oracle question. I assume that they are stalking us. Are they stalking the group? Yes, okay. So, somebody picks up on it. We'll say it's Leah because Leah's our main character. And she picks up, you know, these shadows sort of on the periphery of her vision that's sort of these 3 large predatory cats that are sort of following along. And they're like, that's going to be bad. So what are we going to do about that? Well, that's a good question. We really don't want to tussle with these things. And normally they would try to peel one of us off, so are they going to make a charge? Are they going to make a charge at us? Because that's usually how they... yeah, okay. And they're going to make a charge right now. So, because they rolled so well, I'm going to let them get that first move in, which is probably just going to be a move to get to us. And then we'll roll some initiatives. So, Leah. Nope. Delg. No. Omer. Okay. And Rimefire. Oh, well, Rimefire's going to go first. That's nice. Alright, so it's going to be... let's get back up here to our combat tracker. So we're going to have... we've got... Rimefire. No, not Rimefire. Rimefire. We have... Omer, right? Omer was the third one? Yeah. Omer. We've got lions. And then we've got Delg and Leo. Rolled worst of all. So I think that they have... Oh, they've got speed 50, but that's still not close enough to get it in one move. Oh. Never mind. Because they've got running leap. Well, because the way 5e does jumping is very weird. That doesn't actually extend the range of their speed. So they're actually not going to be... They're going to be just outside of attacking range. They're going to have to spend their action to dash to get into attack. And they're at... I get 26 hit points. This is not going to probably be great for us. Okay. Right, well that was them. So their first round, they got that surprise that as they're sort of noticing them sort of on the horizon, those three figures break and start rushing the group. We'll see if we hold on to the donkey at the end of the round. I'll just put it down here, or the mule. I'm gonna put the mule down there. Which, very interesting, the mule might run because mules and donkeys are not animals you typically want to mess with. They can kick in the head of a bear, so you know, usually big predators and leave them alone, kind of. And they'll stand their ground and fight, which is part of the problem. Unlike horses that will try to always run. Alright, Rimefire's up first. I don't have Rimefires open. Let me swap this back, because I'm going to have to pull up our monster manual real quick. Woefully unprepared. Woefully unprepared. Open recent files. Where is it? No. Nope. There's a monster manual. So we have a silver wormling. Okay. Here we go. I'll swap back. There we go. There he is. Alright, so he's gonna sweep down and try to hit them. Does he want to do paralyzing breath or cold breath? I'll just give it a 50-50. If we roll high, we'll go with paralyzing breath. Alright. So he comes down. How many of these things can he get? Can he get all three? I don't think that's likely. -3. No. Can he get 2? I think that is likely. No. Alright, so he's going to be able to get 1. Apparently with the paralyzing breath. Alright, that lion needs to make a constitution saving throw. Their con is +1. That's a fail. Alright, we've got 1 paralyzed. I'm just going to add that here. So we've got, comes down, breeze, only hits the 1, but that 1's going to be paralyzed. Which I believe gives us all advantage on it. If I remember correctly. It's been a week since I used it. Paralyzed is pretty bad. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's the case. That's Rimefire. Omer's going to jump onto that injured one. And he's going to hit, and it auto crits, because it's paralyzed. And he'll take 7 damage. So he comes in with a spear and gets a good stab in right off the bat. Great job, Omer. It's got a 19. That is the lion's turn. So lion's got a few different Rimefires on the ground, so I don't think that we're going to include him as being one of the targets for right now. Since he did a breath weapon, I assume he just kind of flew over and did it. So we have a few different targets. We have 4 targets and 3 lions. So really we just, or 2 lions. So who's going to get attacked? 4 and 1. All right. So someone's going after the mule, and the other one's going after Omer. All right, the first one's going to go against Omer. Hopefully not rip Omer to shreds. That would be really good. Hey, what's going on? We're just doing our solo RPG stream. So yeah, we got this lion. He's going to jump in. hopefully just not just straight up murder him. He is gonna have pack tactics though, so he's gonna get advantage on Omer. That'll definitely hit Omer. Hit him all day. It's not great. I assume he would do the bite because the bite's does more damage. Alright, 10 points of damage. Oof. For Omer. That is not good. That's most of his hit points. That's not good at all. Alright. Well, that's gonna be rough. So let's get back into it. Who's coming after that? Oh, we have another one. The other one's gonna attack the mule, right? And we'll miss the mule. Good. I guess again, I should bring up mule stats. Yeah, not much of a fighter. I mean, I didn't expect it to be, but probably less fighting capable than the thing is in real life. Alright, so those are our lions, Delg. Well, we still have, oh, that one needs to make a save versus paralyzed still. And saves. So, not paralyzed anymore. Dang. Well, that sucks. I mean, Delg still has advantage on that one. So, he just won't get the auto crit out of it. So, come on, Delg. Get a spear in there. 11, 12, 13, I believe that's their AC. Oh, 12 is. Alright. So, we're going to stab in. 7 points. Alright. 2 7-point stabs. That's pretty good. I'm trying to think if they want to disengage or move. I think it's gonna help to give Leah advantage on that hurt one. And unfortunately, Leah's not a blaster wizard, so honestly, I think probably the best thing she can do at this point, well, since she has advantage, I think she's going to use the firebolt. That will hit. For absolute minimum damage. Great. 1 point of damage. Well, that'll teach that lion. Things are not looking great. She is going to move back with the mule, and I'm going to let the mule sort of... The mule got missed, but still probably needs to make sort of a... I think it just failed its morale check. I guess I should give it advantage. I should give it advantage. It still has plenty of allies around it. Which I think still fails anyways. Yeah. The mule takes off. That will provoke an opportunity attack from one of the lions, who I think hits it. Yep. That's probably gonna be a claw attack because it already bit. It already tried to bite. So it's a D6 plus 3. So it definitely won't kill it in one shot, but could injure it very badly. Yeah, 8. So the mule's down to 2 hit points, I believe. No, 3 points. Alright, so back at the top. So we have Rimefire. Rimefire's going to wheel back around. Does his breath weapon recharge? Yes. This time we're going to go with the cold damage. Can he get all of them? No. Can he get 2 of them? I think that's likely. Yes. Okay, so he's going to get 2 of them. I'm going to say that he would definitely go after the injured one first. So he's going to breathe his cold, which does 48, I believe. Yes. And they need to make Constitution saving throws. So for the injured one, I don't think it matters. He would save, and for the other one's gonna fail. But even if it's saved, that's gonna kill that one. Oh wait, no, it won't. It will not. It's gonna be hanging out with 2 points. But this one's going to take the 18, so that's 8. Yeah, 8. Okay, 8 hit points. I was like, that's right. I'm trying to do math. And then Rimefire, I think, is gonna land to get into the melee a little bit. Omer is there. Omer is hurt. But Omer does have the ability to disengage as a bonus action. So he's going to try to get his stab, and he's going to try to take down that one that's injured. Wow, double nat 20s. I feel like I should give him extra, but there's no way he can't kill this thing. When it has 2 hit points. He has to be able to kill it. So he just... This lion's shredding around, attacking people with the claw, trying to bite the mule, and then Rimefire comes down and breathes cold all over it, and his, that freezing rime is just sort of all over it. And as it's turning around, Doug just kind of like stabs it through the eye with his spear and takes it out. So one lion is down. Delg is gonna move himself back. He's gonna use his disengage action to move the heck out of the fight. Or Omer is, sorry. I think I said Delg. It is the lion's turn. One of them needs to make a morale check. That injured one needs to make a morale check. He is going to fail that check. So that guy's actually going to try to... That lion's going to disengage and boogie out. Which leaves just the one lion left. I mean, I'll leave this guy over here just in case. But in general, that one's going to be gone. This one. That one's peeling off. This meal, too much bother. I thought it was going to be really easy. It's showing itself to not be that easy. Alright, so we've got... Who's in there? So we've got Rimefire, Delg, and Leah. Those are the 3 that are sort of in the mix, so let's see which one this guy goes after. The middle. Who did I say was the middle? So Omer moved out, so it's Rimefire. So this one's going after Delg. No longer has an ally, so it doesn't get that. It's definitely going to hit, though. With 1d8 plus 3. So 10 on Delg. Which really hurts, but he's okay. He's okay. He's gonna be alright. And then, is Delg's turn. Delg's gonna try to get a stab in, I guess. And then he's probably also gonna move back. Went from 2 double 20s to double 2s. Great. Perfect. Swingy as heck. Yeah, he misses. He uses his bonus action to disengage, and they're going to try to, like, regroup. That basically just leaves Leah and Rimefire up there. It is her turn. The lion is here. I don't think there's any reason why she wouldn't hit it with a magic missile. So yeah, I think she's going to hit it with a magic missile at level 1. So we'll just do that. Because we know it's going to hit. It's going to do 3d4 plus 3. Which is pretty good. Pretty good hit. Alright, so we do 13 points of damage. We do a pop, pop, pop. And she gets it. Which takes it half its hit points away. And she's staying in the fight, at least for right now, because she has not been tapped. Is the mule still running? He's moved, he's not being immediately chased, so I guess he has advantage. Or what would be disadvantage? Nope, still running. Alright, the mule's still running away with his supplies. Just put a little note. And that brings us back to the top for Rimefire. Does Rimefire's breath recharge? No. I didn't expect it would. And let's see what he does. I think he gets to do a bite. So he'll do a bite. He has advantage on this lion. He's going to hit that lion and do a d10 plus 4. 9 points of damage. Really knocking this thing out. Omer's in the back. Omer will drop his spear and pull out his sling and make an attack. Uh, 12, which I believe is their AC. Yeah. So it does actually hit. It does the minimum amount of damage to not kill it. Down to 1 hit point. Sorry, down to 3 hit points. It is the lion's turn. I feel almost certain that it will flee, but let's check its morale anyways. It does indeed flee. So it will disengage and run away. So everybody's taken off. All the bad guys are taken off. We gotta go catch that mule though. That's gonna be the real problem. Alright, is there anything we want to do with the lions? Alright, so the lions are moving out, so we're moving out of the initiative order. He's running that way. If we had Ott here, I'd say Ott would try to take the pelt off the one that we killed. But nobody here is really that sort of survival kind of person. So I think they're more concerned with chasing down the mule. So I'm just going to roll us into a little sort of semi-skill challenge thing. Let's just roll a d6. We'll make it a short one, so like 3 attempts. So that'd be 7. So 16 is our DC. So we're going to set this down for... I'll just make a little line under here. So we have 16, 32, and then that's what, 48. Okay. So we got 3 attempts to try to hit 48, which I think are going to be animal handling checks as they sort of try to chase this thing down and calm it down. Calm the mule down. Does anybody have to use an animal handler? Is really the question, I guess. It is a wisdom-based one, so it's definitely not Leah. And it's not really Omer either. Delg does have animal handling. I mean, he only is trained in it. He doesn't have bonus otherwise, but they've got that mule has their supplies. They need to catch that mule. So we'll let him go, and everybody else will just help. So hopefully we get good rolls. That's not a good start. All right, that's a 6. That's worse. It's a 3, 9. All right, totally impossible for us to get it now. 9 plus 13, which is what, 22? Yeah, so we miserably failed that. So I'm going to say that this takes up amount of time. So an extra amount of time. Okay, we still rolled pretty low though. So that's good. But we didn't do a great job. So we spent quite a bit of time. No, 3. And let's go up to our notes here. Where we at? We're in session 25 now. So here's where we go. We left for Karjunton by the most direct route. We immediately attacked by lions. Lions chase off our mule. And injured the mule, right? Sorry. There we go. Yeah, and injured our mule. Alright, so we did injured and chased off our mule. took time and energy to regain. Okay, yeah, well, that's what happened in there. And we didn't find anything in here, so it's not confirmed empty. This hex isn't confirmed empty or anything. Well, that was an ominous start. Now, the problem is do we want to take a rest? Because we already got beat up right off the bat. It's so early in the day, though. And I think, right, Del, can you... Okay, oh, he can do it per short rest or long rest. I kind of want to say let's just take a short rest. I think we just take a short rest. So let's see if anything happens while we take that short rest. And then we'll spend some hit dice. No. Okay, good. So Leah's fine, but Omer needs to spend a hit die, which he will do. Well, he may need to spend more than one. 5. Puts us at 12. Did we go ahead and go for it? That was a pretty tough fight. If we get into another combat, he's gonna need it. So I think we gotta roll that second one. Okay. So he'll have 16 points. But he's down 2 hit dice. Not a great way to start off the day. Delg is going to spend a hit die. Take a d8 plus 1. Come on. 7 points. Alright, that puts him at 20. That's respectable. That's as many hit points as Leah has. And that way we're still able to do our healer actions if we need them in the middle of combat. And I guess he would heal the mule, which will put it back up to full, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna shoot the mule, because the mule can always be attacked, right? That's not something we've done a lot of in the past ever since we've had it, but the mule can always be attacked, which is not great because it has all our gear on it. So we really don't want to lose that thing. We're just gonna put monsters. This is where the monsters go. Alright. Our mule, full health. Alright, let's continue on, I guess. So let's swing D4. We're gonna go east, I think. So we're gonna move into this hex. We're gonna spend 3 to do so. We're gonna put us up to 6. So we're about a third of the way through the day. What kind of terrain did we come across? 10. Which is slightly drier. This is going to be drier than desert, though. So we'll just keep the desert. Go ahead and paint in our little desert hex there. Do we check for trouble? Do we run across any trouble? No, thankfully. Do we run across any POIs? No. Alright, so finally, at least this time we're a little bit safe. So I think we're gonna keep moving east, because we're in a beeline for Karjunton. I don't think we're gonna make that there today. We have too many hexes to move through. But hopefully we'll get there at some time the next day. Now the only problem is we're not supposed to be going back to Karjunton. That's a bit of an issue. Guards have definitely don't want us there, and have said so much. If we get caught there, it's not going to be great. Now, thankfully, we don't need to go to the Riverside Conservatory for anything. So, hopefully, we can just kind of... It's been, like a couple weeks now since we've been there, so things have probably calmed down a little bit. People are kind of getting back to normal after the fire and the thefts and all that stuff. And who knows what's going on in Karjunton. We haven't gone back. Alright, yeah, let's do our rolls. D4 and a D12. Right, nothing but 3. And more of the same. Yeah, yep. We're definitely not making it there today. Alright, and this is going to be more desert. And did we come across POI while we're over there? No, okay. Good. Since we're not really looking for him. Alright, so we're in a pretty decent spot. I think we're gonna keep moving. Just keep on moving. Alright, so this can be 2. And there's actually gonna be a little bit more verdant there. So we actually move into more of a sort of like shrubland situation here. And we rolled a 2. So yeah, we're a little over halfway now. And do we run into any trouble? No. Run into any POIs? No. So yeah, it's been a pretty uneventful scramble so far. Fingers crossed. Let's keep moving. Oh, actually, this should be... We switch. This actually should be a grassland. It's actually what that should be. Actually, I think these are all supposed to be... You know what? I screwed that up. I think these are all supposed to be that. Typically, I use the desert tile for that, so I think that's why I got screwed up there. So it should... Right, it should be those desert tiles, but this isn't a desert tile, it's actually a plains. That's right, didn't really change anything. We actually had a plains encounter, so... Wouldn't have changed anything. Just making that change now. Alright. Alright, good, making good time. Things are copacetic. Moving up to 12. This itself is going to be another thing. Now, one of the things I don't like is they just made an update on HexTML where they changed the color selector. So now I have to... Oh, actually, I can... There's a little light drop? Cool. Now I get the... Now I get this... That did not work. Oh, I may have to drag it. Okay. Oh, okay. I can do it that way. Alright, that's helpful. Okay, perfect. Just solving something that they made some changes in the program that I didn't really like, because they used to have an auto block of different colors you could pick from. And that's where I got this orange color from, because it doesn't come standard. But they made that change. There's nothing in there, so we're going to here. 4. Another 1. It's good. Nothing there. POI here. Nope. Alright, actually we're making pretty good time. We've had some low rolls, that's been really helpful. So, I mean, famous last words, but we could actually make it to Karjunton today, potentially. Alright, 3. No encounter. Did we come across POI? Yes. Oh, cool. We're gonna come across POI. So as we're walking, we're gonna come across something. What exactly are we gonna come across? Let's roll a d20. I've got the short list of POI stuff here. Well, I guess we can use the one that's in here. 11. Some sort of natural resource. Let's roll D4. Alright, so some sort of work camp. Semi-permanent work camp. So let's go down here. I wonder what kind of resource. Let's go ahead and put an icon down on it. I know it is. Okay. What could they be harvesting? Maybe like aloe? I kind of like the idea of maybe something like aloe, some sort of desert dish-esque. Okay, no, not aloe. Yucca? Nope, nothing like that either. Olives? Yeah, looks like it's gonna be olives. Alright, let's move this. So there's some unnaturally occurring sort of like olive grove there that people sometimes come and pick from. Do we want to talk to anybody here? Do we want to spend any time talking to anybody? How much time do we have? Are we definitely going to have to camp? Because I think we're in a position where we might make it. We're at 16, but we basically have to roll ones, I think, every time to get there. Yeah. Do we stop here for the night? I think that's probably a safe place. Well, first let's ask, are there any people here? Yes, alright. So I think, yeah, we'll ask them... We'll ask them if they mind sharing camp with us. Let's ask. Yeah, no, that's probably gonna be a no. They're probably gonna be like, hey, actually the DC is very low. Yes. Alright, so they did agree. So we will actually bed down here. Let's go up here. So start. So we finish with then. Alright, drop west and stop to camp at a natural olive grove with I say foragers, I guess is who these are. So let's bed down. So as we bed down, I think I'm gonna let... Who's gonna be the best at this? I'm gonna get like a sort of vibe check with these people. Because we're still like laying down with people we really don't know anything about. Unfortunately, everybody's insight is pretty terrible. Oh, except for Delg's. Delg has a +4 to it, and I'm gonna give him advantage because other people would be helping him with this. Alright, 21. So we got a pretty good idea of sort of who these people are. We feel like Delg got a pretty good vibe check off of them. Do they seem like these people are going... Are these people shady at all? I think that's extremely unlikely. Like, we're the ones who walked into their camp, not the other way around. Oop. Yeah, no, they're not shady at all. We feel very comfortable taking that. We'll still do our watches and everything like that, but we feel relatively comfortable sort of sleeping the night with them. Now, the question is does anything happen? No. But we do have to make some more checks for our feed and rations. Alright, we're losing feed by the fistful. How about those rations? Ugh! Now we're getting plagued by the ones. Alright, so we have 1 day of rations left. Which luckily is going to get us back into the city. It should get us back into the city, no problem. Alright, nothing showed up overnight, which means that everybody does get to heal. We'll go back to 17 and get actually both of those back, because we didn't actually end up running into anybody else. And Leah's actually going to get her final hit die back. And Adele will get his hit die back, and he'll heal all the way back up to 23. Rimefire was uninjured, so we don't have to worry too much about that. She is also going to get her spell slot back. She's bound. Alright, what do we want to do next? Is there anything that we need to do? I think we're in a good spot. What I'm going to do is take a quick break so I can use the restroom and refill my tea. Then we'll jump back in, get to Karjunton, and see if we can find out what's what and go from there. So I will see you guys in just a minute. Alright, let's hop back in. So we've rested up everybody. We've done our supplies checks, and we need to reset this guy. It goes back to 0, and this goes back to 0 for right now. We need to find out what it is, though. Alright, that's a 15. It's not terrible. Could be better, though. I think that should hopefully get us there. I can't imagine it doesn't. Because we're only a few blocks away. Let's keep moving. Alright, first off, what's our terrain like? 9. That's a little bit drier. That itself is actually going to be a desert square that we actually end up going through. How much does it take, and do we run across anything? 2, and no. Alright, so we're setting a good pace. Didn't run across anything. And I don't believe that runs across anything either. Let me double check though. Technically we are on a marches. Nope, on a 4. We needed a 3 or less. So we're good there. We're just gonna keep on moving. Alright, well. So it's gonna be another lovely little shrubland. Sort of scrub. Ooh, it takes a bit to get through though. But luckily we don't come across anything. At all. Sorry. To adjust. So up to 6. So we're about halfway through the day almost. Well, a little less than that. About 40% of the way. Getting through that desert really took it out of us. Which is not that surprising. And we're going to move into this next hex right next to Karjunton. We're almost home. To our destination anyways. Hmm, 4. So that actually makes this actually a little bit interesting, because this is actually going to be forest, but it's a dry forest. It's about 50% woodlands, about 50% plains. How much did that take out of us? 1. That's not too bad. We run across anything? Hopefully not. No, okay, we're good there too. Good there too. Excellent. Any POI? No. Alright. Alright, well. Our next move is into Karjunton. I think we're going to leave Rimefire here in the woods as the safest place for him, while the rest of the party makes their way into Karjunton. So we're going to dump Rimefire off right here. We're going to make that last move in. 3. Alright. Shouldn't be a problem. Any trouble? Hopefully not. Nope. Any POI? Well, we know there's POI. There's Karjunton. And the group makes it to Karjunton. Now, we've got to be really subtle about the way we get in. Now, Leah doesn't have any sort of disguised self. Altered self anyway to magically change the way she looks. Nor does Omer. Nor does Delg. So I think Leah's just kind of throw up her hood and do her best to sort of meld into the group, a crowd of people moving in and out. Now, usually, when you come into a city, you have to pay. Oh, we had the goats with us. The lions probably should have attacked the goats. I did not think about that. You usually have to pay per pair of legs. And axles. So, I'm not going to make... The NPCs will pay for themselves. But Leah has to pay for herself, for the mule, and for the goats, I guess. Which would be about a penny a head. So, 5 copper. But I guess I should check to see if she could stealth in there first. I think she's going to be pretty decent at this. I'm going to give her advantage. She's got people who are trying to hide her. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 20 plus. I mean, we'll double check for that. Yeah, no problem. So they pay their gate tolls and move their way into the city. Karjunton down here. Where do we want to go? We want to stay far away from Riverside Conservatory. Do we want to go to the slum? That would keep us away from probably prying eyes the best. It's a flop house versus a hostel, though. None of which are particularly good. Well, we know where Arise is hiding. I guess we'll ask Arise's secretary if she will Arise be able to sort of like hold us in his home for the night before we take off? No, I don't think so. Arise, as far as we know, has been being watched, and so she can carry a missive for us, but we've got to figure out where we're going to stay. I'm thinking we stay in the Keys. I think those are my thoughts. I think we should stay in the Keys because that means that we can take the river out which I think will draw less attention to us than trying to go through the gates. And we can take that up to at least here, if not here, and we can hop off and head back our normal way as the river peels off to the sort of northeast as it does. Northeast. And we already know that path really well. We can hit that village. We can hit Naida's keep. Talk to her. Hit the regular trout. We've dealt with all those things already. So I think it makes sense to do things that way. So we're gonna bed down the keys. Which is... has sort of a hostile vibe to it. Let's get some lodging costs. Staying down by the docks usually isn't too expensive, but it's also not the slums. But I also don't think it's middle class, so I think I'm going to roll D10 and take the higher one. 9. Okay, so it's going to be... $4 silver for her room and board. And I'd say another silver for stabling. So we're just going to make it 5 silver, and we're going to pay off that. Now, we still got a little bit of time in the day. Do we want to see if we could sell off some of our treasure? I think that's a good idea. At least get rid of these goats, if nothing else. So yeah, I think we're going to run off and we're going to try to unload some treasure. Now, I had a section where we were keeping track of the treasure. No, I just don't remember where it was. Under the appropriately titled treasure notes. So I'm just going to transfer that 7 silver over to her now. Alright. I think we're just going to kind of go down the row and see what she can sell it for. She will take somebody with her so she can get advantage on these rolls as she tries to sort of persuade her way to get these prices. Because she could get less, she could potentially get more, but probably not a lot. She's just making straight up, basically, persuasion checks at this point. That's 20. Yeah, 20 versus 12. Yeah, I think that does it. I think I'll give her a little extra. How much extra? Oh, 9. 1.9. So almost twice. So she's gonna sell these. She's gonna sell the goats for about 5 gold. Alright, she has a common gemstone. Even better, natural 20. Heck yeah. Basically double the price. Well, that seems expensive. We'll say 35 gold. So that would make it 150. Right? Yes. So she's getting away with murder with this thing. The harmonica. Yeah, really good. Let's double check. Even with a higher DC, she still comes out on top. I'll take the lower of these 2. So, I don't know what that math is off the top of my head. We'll round up and say 23 gold. That gets her up to 38 gold. Selling this. Probably not gonna... The map, we don't have any input as to what that's gonna be like. And I think we're just gonna put the rest of these all together and sell them all off as one big thing, because all these are kind of... Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let's see, 13 plus 9 plus 11 plus 20 plus 0.2. So 53.2. Come on. 14, 15, 16. It's probably gonna be enough. Ooh, actually, I think she failed that one. That's actually a 21. So she actually fails that one. Alright, so she's gonna retain about 70%. Alright, so then I'll just update that, so that's 138. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. 175. So 175 gold plus another 24 silver, which makes it 51 silver, and then 14 copper. Speaking of which, we do need to change a thing. So it's actually the 15th. Oh, we had some light rain. That's nice. Good. It's spring, so it's a little kind of drizzly, which is kind of nice. Probably a nice break. Even though it might make it kind of cold in Karjunton. But alright, we've sold off our treasure. Our grand treasures. Except for our map with directions to Goblin someplace. And so I think for this, I'm going to... Hold on. Before I start rolling, I should determine what I'm going to do. I think for every time that we kind of go around here, because now we have... Constitution is not only our problem for just doing things in the day, we now have potential to getting recognized, so I think we're also going to keep track of that. Alright, so 1. Okay. She literally can't fail that. Alright, so we're going to set her DC to 22. Because it can't roll any higher than that. Let's go down here. Actually, I'm going to put this up here. Alright, so we entered Karjunton and sold off treasure. So, sitting at 1 of 22 to being discovered. Right, because we're not supposed to be here. So, to being, let's say that, being recognized, and then discovered. And then we also need to enter our hex crawl operations down here, because we also rolled, I don't remember what we rolled actually. Apparently a 4. So it's getting late in the day. We've got maybe one more thing we can do in the day. What do we want to do? We've got a bunch of stuff to do. I guess we try to find the odd. I think that's the best thing we should do, is put out some feelers and kind of look around. What's the best way to do that? Do we talk to people? Who would know where Ott is, though, is the problem. I don't know who in Karjunton would know where Ott is, other than maybe Arias. So I think we're just going to... I feel like we should make a skill check, but I don't know what that skill check would be in this instance. It's not really investigation. Not really like a social skill like a persuasion or something like that. Not really an insight. So I think we're just gonna make an oracle question. So we're gonna spend our last action for the day, sort of in the evening time, looking for Ott. And I think our friends are gonna help us, so that's gonna give us, I think, a +3 to try to find her. So do we find her? Yes. Okay, so we're able to track down Ott. But that will take up our last action for the day. Probably. 3. Okay. So that puts us at 17. Chance to blow our cover 2. With the 3 there. It's being recognized. Yep. We did find Ott. So I think we'll tell her that we'll pick up again with her the next day and have that conversation. Everybody's going to kind of go their different ways, and we will bed down for the evening. Does anything happen to us overnight? There's some sort of encounter. Let's see, I have a 2d20 urban encounter thing, so let's roll 2d20s and I'll pick the one I like. That's usually how I use that table. Alright. Oh, I didn't check to see if anything was happening in town. Was anything happening in town? No. Alright, I got a 4 and a 16. Oh, I could do any one of those. But I think I'm going to go with 4. So while they're having sort of their evening dinner, kind of talking about their plans for the next day and all the things, there's a big argument that sort of breaks out in the tavern that they're in. They're sort of hostile in tavern. And as it breaks out, you know, it looks like it's going to turn violent. So first question is do we recognize any of the people that are in this altercation? Yes. Okay, so it is somebody we know that's in this altercation. So let's figure out who that is. Where are we at? What's our factions? So we've got some factions. Let's see. It's somebody from one of those factions. Alright, what's faction 4? Oh, the Bounty Hunter Guild. No, I don't think we have any bounty... We keep killing bounty hunters is the problem, so we don't really have any. So... I'm just going to need to make some notes for myself, just so we have them. Well, eating dinner. An argument breaks out in the hustle. I'm just going to put quotes down here. The keys down here. So we know exactly what we're doing. Alright, do we recognize the other person? I think that's probably highly unlikely. I think that's highly unlikely we do. -5. 11. This is itself sort of an interrupt scene, so I'm not going to interrupt it. But yes, we do recognize somebody else here. The conversation. Somebody from Faction 2. Shoot. Oh, somebody from Riverside Conservatory. Oh no, is it one of our people? Oh no, it could be one of our people. Oh no, is it Aeolus? That would be hilarious. Is it Aeolus? I think that's Aeolus, right? It could be a different discredited sage. Is it Aeolus? I think it's almost certainly Aeolus, so +5. Yeah, it's Aeolus. Alright, so... getting up there. What am I looking at? Went too far. I need to clean up some of these notes. Getting too hard to find things quickly. Nihilus. Alright, I guess, do we step in? Because the problem is if we step in there, it's almost likely that the bounty hunter, if they don't recognize us, it's going to, even if they don't immediately recognize us as people who are maybe wanted, it is definitely going to put us in a pinch if we stay here very long in Karjunton. If we start drawing our attention to ourselves like this. Oh man, do we step in? Because Ellis is probably going to get his butt kicked is the problem. And we don't have a very simple way to hide ourselves. I think the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna listen, see if we can figure out what they're talking about. Now, my first assumption is that Earless must have a bounty out for him, or, well, actually, that's not true. They could also be looking for Leah and Omer. So yeah, are they looking for Leah and Omer? They're trying to shake him down. Okay, no. So, are they after Iolus? No. Okay, so they're after somebody else. Ooh, they might be after Arias. Because we know Arias is in danger and he's trying to get out of town. So, I'm going to say that's +3. Yeah, alright, so the bounty hunter is trying to shake down. So we're going to change that. Down Iolus for info on Arias's location. Alright, so that puts us in a bad situation. So if we step in, it's going to draw attention to us. And since we are connected to both those NPCs, maybe not a great idea. Alright, so that's what they're talking about. Do we want to try to... really don't have anything to... I was trying to think if we could do something that would work. Dang, we really don't have anything. I mean, the heroic thing would be to step in and do something, right? Can we get... No. I was going to see if we could use Igni for something, but I don't... Igni would only really be useful if we try to set something on fire, which I don't think is a good thing to do in an establishment that we're trying to rest at. That we have rooms checked out at. That's probably not a good idea. Dang. Alright, so what are we going to do? Dang. This is kind of a funny situation. I think we gotta let him push Iolus around. Now here's the question. Here's actually the more important question. Is Iolus here with us? Or we just happen to be at the same place? Is he with us? I don't think so, because I don't think we want to include Iolus in anything else. So I'm going to say -3. No. Alright, not at all. In fact, nobody, he doesn't know we're here, and the bounty hunter doesn't know that we're here. Nobody's clocked us at this place. I think we just try to slink out and try to head back out to our room. So we're going to do a stealth check. Oh no, that's really bad. That's a 6. Does that happen to pass? No! It won't. No, that's an 11. Wasn't a high DC, but we suck. So we're trying to make our getaway, try to get away, you know, try to push ourselves away, and maybe try to head back upstairs to our rooms. As we're sort of like trying to creep away, I think that the bounty hunter like turns and looks at us directly and is like, "Hey, I know you. Wait, who are you?" Kind of assails us. Do we try to talk it out or do we try to run? Well, it's not a good situation, and we're not good at either. I think Leah's just gonna give him the cold shoulder and try to walk away. Try to. I say this is almost like an intimidate. Try to like have enough riz to be like, hey, don't talk to me. It doesn't get an advantage on that. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 19 though, for her to just kind of like give him a look and just turn back. Right, I think she just kind of gives him one of those like flat, like, don't screw with me kind of looks. Let's see if it passes. I think that will though. Oh yeah. Okay. But that does let us know. So we got seen by Hunter, but didn't recognize us. So we headed back out. And so that was our... But I am going to be like, we didn't do a great job. So I think I am going to add this to our detection level. Alright, so we're at 6 of 22. We really need to get out of the city. We probably have one day in the city to really do everything that we need to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to wake up in the morning. Technically we won't have that. Oh man, it's a terrible roll though. For a con. Total of 6. We're not going to get a lot accomplished today. Because we're not going to be using the mule, so it doesn't really help us in that sort of situation. Alright. Alright, things that we need to do right off the top. We need to go shopping. I feel like shopping's something I can hand off to somebody else. You know, nobody's really looking for Delg, so I'm going to put shopping in Delg's hands. And have him see if he can buy us some more feed and rations. We're good on torches, but we need some feed and rations. So that's what Delg's going to do. So let's get back up here. So it is Spring Chrome 16. It's April 24th. It is still pretty warm for an April. Calm, but still that sort of light rain still kind of going on. Alright, so here's what we're going to do, because we're going to split up because we don't have a lot of time here in the city before things go very badly. So we're going to have down here, so next day, people split up to accomplish tasks to get out of Karjunton. Alright, so I think Delg's on resupply. I'm gonna put Leah on getting Ott or someone else to help us if she won't, because we're getting to the point where we've got to have some fighters with us. We've got to hire somebody who's going to come with us. We've got to have some sort of NPC that's got combat skills, because these are the guys who are just not handling it very well. And then I'm going to put Omer on rumor duty. He's going to listen for rumors. For some of this other stuff that we have. And then Bryce's secretary. In the evening, take a message to Bryce. I want to wait to do that in the evening because I need to know how much we're going to get accomplished. Because I don't want to risk sending a message to Arias and accidentally tip off people who are looking for him. And then looking for us. And we also need to know if we're actually going to be able to leave tomorrow morning at this point or not. Regardless, we are going to have to pay for another day, which we said was 5 silver, right? For our accommodations. That's 46. And we're flush. We've got a little bit of cash, though we are sending stuff out. So first off, let's roll our d4 because I'm really trying to maximize what's getting done here. All right, 2. All right. And for our stealthing, 1. Okay, so we're doing all right on the stealthing. Well, we are going to spend about a third of the day doing these things. Sorry, about a half a day. Dang. Alright, so I think we're just going to kind of go down the list, figure out. I want to get us to what's going to feel like a good stopping point. I'm not sure that we're going to get to the point where we're going to be leaving Karjunton, but I want us to get really closer than we are. I want to get some things kind of tied up, because we have a bunch of stuff going on in Karjunton before you kind of tap out for this stream. Alright. So we did travel back to Karjunton. So that is succeeded. Oh, right, we have Fargrim's Trail. Alright. I'm trying to figure out whether if Omer's rumor mongering is going to be able to look for rumors for a lot of things, or maybe just one thing. Let's see how everybody else gets on first, and then maybe we'll get back and do that. Alright, Delg's on resupply, so he's just going to go out and buy stuff. Which is pretty easy. They've got plenty of money. This is coming out of Leah's pocket. But we are going to buy some things. Well, I found feed, but I was looking for rations. I believe rations are like a gold... Oh, here, it's probably into this, right? Yeah. So rations are a silver a day, and feed is 5 coppers a day. 5 silvers and 5 coppers. So I'm going to do that. So for rations... so that's 11, so 5.5. So that'll get us back, our rations will back up to D8s. And our feed, which is going to be the same thing, we're going to do the same thing. Oh, actually, I need to pay 1 more for my rations, huh? We're down to 1 day. And another, so 3, another gold and 5 silver. And then coppers for our feed. Oh good, nice and cheap. So that's actually going to be 2 silvers worth. Alright, so cool. We are filled up on that. That's all good. Great job, Delg. Alright. Now Leah's got to do this on her own. She's going to try to convince Ott to come with him. Ott's tied into this. We've got to get Arias out of here. We know Arias has people coming after him. You're tied to all this. The Bounty Hunter Guild is asking questions. You need to come with us. Like, Karjunton is not safe for any of us now. So I'm going to give her advantage on this sort of play. She's going to spend this time trying to convince Ott to come with them. God dang, man. Seriously. Alright, well, that's a whopping 6. I don't think that's going to pass. Dang, it was low DC too. But it's not that low. It's an 11 DC. Is there any chance? So given this, and the way that Ott reacts, do we find any inkling that we could at all, in any form, convince her to come with us? Or is Ott just out? Alright, I was gonna give that a -3, but that's still yes. What does Ott want? Does Ott want us to pay her? Yes. Okay. We can pay Ott. Let's look at our rates. Alright, it's definitely skilled labor. It's definitely hazards pay. And private kid. Alright. Can we convince her to do it for like 2 gold a day? So I'm gonna roll some charisma checks to see as they sort of like negotiate the price, if that's clearly what she's interested in. Seven is a 9. I don't think that's gonna convince her. Oh no, it did. Okay, woo, low DC. All right, so she agrees to come for us for 2 gold a day. So. $2 a day. That's not bad. Actually, that's an exceptionally good price. So I think Ott realizes that she needs to leave. She just doesn't want to leave without some coin in her pocket, maybe. I don't know. Ott's a weird character. Ott is for sure mercenary to the bone. Right? She is definitely not one to do it out of the good feelings. Okay, while we've got Ott here, and we've got her convinced, I kind of want to ask her, because we're going to be leading a relatively large group now, because we're going to have to get Aeolus out too, Arias, and his secretary. We're bringing a bunch of people. At this point, I think we need to ask, does Ott know of anybody else who would be willing to sort of come with them for a reasonable price, right? To help us attend, to help us take these people to Split Valley Oasis. Does Ott know of any warriors for a reasonable price? I don't think that's likely. But even with the -3, it's still 14. So yes, okay. Is it someone we already know? Probably not. It is. Okay. So, somebody who's willing to help us who we already know. So we've got a few different people. So it could be Imbar. Oh man, is it Imbar? Yeah, it's Imbar. Okay. Alright. But that did have an interrupt scene, so I do want to do that interrupt scene. So let's go. I do want to make sure that we get our notes down. Here we go. Here's... that. So, follow-up question that I do want to ask. Does Ott know about Imbar and Leah's past? I don't know. Yeah, okay. No, she's very aware. I think Ott's like, this is, you know, you need somebody. This is somebody you know. You've seen their skills. You know, I know their skills. We could use Imbar. This also may be an opportunity for you to bury the hatchet with her once and for all. Sort of let bygones be bygones. It's been some time. So maybe you guys will be able to hash it out. So I think that probably soothes it over to Leah. Like, Leah's probably wouldn't do it if we didn't kind of desperately need that extra muscle. But more importantly, what exactly is going to go on here? As they're sort of having these drinks and talking things out. Per interrupted scene. Let's see. 7. Hazard or obstacle ordinary. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Alright, so it's the release of some normal... some ordinary hazard or obstacle. Which makes me think in a very average location. Which I think means that there's just a fire. That's what makes sense to me. Is a fire is broken out in the city. So they're cut off. Of disturbance, and a fire is raging. Is this fire related to any place where we're staying or any of our NPCs? I think that's highly unlikely. No, okay. So yeah, but there is the fire, so they have to exit. And so I think we tell Ott, hey, come back with us. Or actually, probably we'll be like, hey, Ott, can you go talk to Inbar and tell her that you've got a job? And then we can at least get her to meet us rather than us have to go get her. Is Ott okay with that? I think she is. I don't know why she wouldn't be. Yeah. All right. Okay. So that was an interrupt scene, but it's not particularly important to us as long as it doesn't get out of hand. Maybe we'll check for that later. See if it gets out of hand. Send Ott to collect Bar and bring her to the flophouse. Or the hostel, sorry. That's the flophouse. Yeah, and then I think they head back. Omer was going to listen for rumors. So we've got a number of things that we maybe want to check up on. Alright, so we convinced Ott to come back with us. Boom. I think we'll just kind of go down. We've got a lot of things that he can maybe hear about. So I think we'll just kind of go down the list. Did he hear anything about Fargrim? No. Alright, so then after that... Has he heard anything about the Mint? No. Slaver's Affliction? No. Did he hear anything about Norkruuth? No. Okay. I'm just gonna check down here to see if we have... Let's look at our adventure threads, actually, is what I'm looking at. Anything about the Bounty Hunters Guild? No. Alright, maybe Arise just didn't do a very good job, honestly. He just got day drunk in the bar and didn't do anything. I mean, I'm not going to blame him. At this point, he's been through a lot of terrible things. I'm not sure why he would try to get into more terrible things. I think we should, at this point, give Leah a wisdom save for that... for her nightmares. I keep forgetting to bring that up, but I think she's had enough. She should make a wisdom save at this point. And make a terrible one. Well, that's a lot of that's 3. That's a 2. Cool. She did not have good sleep last night. Oh yeah, did you hear anything about the undead infestation? No. Dang. All right. Oh, the gas. Did we hear anything about the gas? That could be an interesting one. No. Jeez. All right. Well, I think that's about it. So Norkruuth kind of wasted the day and didn't get us any information about anything that's going on in Karjunton. Absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. Omer, you're out. I'm gonna find somebody else. But I think that gives us an insight. So if he didn't pick up any information, I don't think we should hang around and try to get more information. So I think what we're gonna do, since we didn't get any additional information, I don't think there's any reason why we should hang out in town and try to push ourselves about being recognized. And right, we have the enmity of the bounty hunters. We should maybe just boogie out. I think we've got our stuff. We just need our people, and we can spend our sort of last action of the night, I guess, seeing if we can get just blew her name. Imbar to come along. So yeah, I think we'll do that. So how much are... Alright, so not getting recognized, but that is definitely going to use most of our night. Alright, and where were we at? Failed to find any information. And then Arias, we are going to send Arias the secretary in the evening to take a message to Arias. And I think we have the employment conversation with Inbar. And that's gonna probably take us to the end of the day here. That puts us at 6. So technically we could maybe get away with one more, if we absolutely need to. If things with Inbar go bad anyways. Which they could go bad. We don't want them to go bad. So yeah, I think it's later in the evening. How late in the evening? Yeah, relatively early. So, you know, maybe about 7-ish. It's spring, so the sun isn't really... still going down pretty early. No, well, it's late in the spring. So it's starting to linger on. It's definitely, once we hit 7 o'clock, it's definitely kind of becoming sort of duskish. We're definitely hitting sunset, maybe about to hit sunset. 7:30 for sunset, probably. And as we do that, the door opens in the center, and we have a gaggle of people, right? We have Omer and Delg and Leah and Iolis. Oh, that's true. Nobody went to collect Iolis. We should probably do that. You know what? I will send Delg to do it. I'm gonna send Delg to do it. Because Delg is easily the least recognizable of everybody here in our group. So we're gonna send Delg to take care of it. Oh, well, Ott knows the last known location for Fargrim. Maybe that's something we deal with next time. I'm trying to figure out, do we want to get into Imbar stuff right now? Or do we want to save it for next time? I think we should get into it. I think let's just knock it out. Let's find out one way or another, and if things go really, really badly, maybe that's where we'll cut it for this stream. Conversation with it. We're going to then we send Del to collect Olus. Come with us to Split Valley Oasis. Perfect. Alright, so, and in strides Imbar. I'm going to need to refresh myself on Imbar. Imbar is somebody I made in the very beginning when I made Leah, thinking that she would come up very soon, and then she didn't at all. So, she is a human fighter. I'm thinking kind of a relatively built woman. I'm thinking kind of lots of freckles. I'm thinking sort of like a lantern jaw, but sort of a strawberry blonde kind of hair. Maybe even, yeah, dirty blonde. Let's go with dirty blonde hair, sort of like pulled back tight into sort of a ponytail. Probably not a ponytail, probably a bun. She and Ott sort of come in, and let's just roll a reaction roll. Reaction roll? Well, let's ask the Oracle. Is Imbar, upon seeing Leah, immediately hostile? Like, comes in and recognizes her and starts swinging? I think that's extremely unlikely. So -5. And yet she does. Okay. Well, now we know how this is gonna go. Alright, it comes in. We'll go ahead and do that. Nope. Let me get back up. Up. Alright, so, in the process, sees Leah and immediately gets into physical altercation. Yeah, alright, I think, yeah, we'll do this. We'll do Imbar. We'll be here. I don't know what Imbar's initiative is, so we're just gonna kind of give her, kind of assume that maybe she has a point in dex, so like an 11. And so, who's here? So Delg's not here. Rimefire's not here. Omer's here. Lee's here. Ott's here. Alright, so let's get a roll for Omer, and a roll for Ott. And a roll for Leah. Speaking of which, I need to bring up Ott's character sheet. One moment. There we go. Swap. Alright, perfect. So, we've got Ott up. I think Ott has dexterity, yeah. So, Ott's actually gonna go before her. And then Leah's gonna go before her. Actually, Ott will be going first. Because she has such a good modifier. And then it's actually Omer who's gonna go afterwards. Alright, yeah, so that's sort of the situation. Is then Imvar immediately, like, goes red in the eyes, hostile. Fucking see. As she sees her, and she's like, God damn it, Leah. Never want to see you again. Starts sort of coming at her, and I think Ott's going to try to grab her and hold her back. So, let's give Ott an attack. Sort of grapple check. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's a 19. I don't really want to bring up an Imbar stat block because I'm going to have to change it anyways to make her a sidekick if we end up taking her. So I think I'm just going to roll an improvised roll and give her like a +2 or +3. So she fails, so she kind of lunges forward and like Ott sort of like grabs her from the back and like is holding her. It is Leah's turn. What's Leah gonna do? Alright, here's the thing. Leah needs Imbar's help. Imbar's the only person she knows, the only person she can kind of vouch for in the city, who is, kind of dangerous to bring along with them based off of what she knows about the group and could sell them out to the bounty hunters, but I think she has to eat crow on that. And I think she's smart enough to realize that she has to eat crow. And I think Leah sort of like gets up from her seat and kind of smooths out her dress. And I think she bows deeply and makes a formal apology about what happened to their friends. Now, so I was going to give her advantage, but I think because of the state that Imbar's in, I was going to give her advantage because she's doing the formal thing and she's got, a bunch of allies around her. But I'm going to take that away because of the state that Imbar's in when she's in fully hostile. So we're just going to do a straight D20 and see if she's going to take that apology. Okay, that's 14. So could. That's looking promising. Okay, good. Alright, that's a DC 10. So we passed. And I don't know, maybe it's the time, maybe the time apart, and like, you do that thing like we all do when we have that, a tiff with somebody and we have some sort of bad interaction with somebody, and then we just sort of like replay it again and again in our head. We seem to like, oh, they're such an asshole, and etc., etc. And then you have to think, when you see them again and you realize like, oh, like I had built it up so much in my head, and then I'm here and now I'm like kind of off balance, like oh. So I think that's what happens. So she sort of like bends down, gives her a formal apology. I think we see Imbar like go from gritted teeth to, and sort of straining gets to kind of not happy, right? Not happy. But not horrifically violent either. And so I think Ott sort of like leads her over to the table and like has her sit down. The Imbar kind of sits down, kind of looks at Ott, and is like, you didn't tell me this is who we were meeting. I think Ott very much quips back with like, well, I didn't think you'd come. Well, you'd be right. I think she kind of turns to look at Leah. Thank you for the apology, but it's a little too late. I think that kind of grinds into Leah a little bit. Does Leah sort of, I don't even feel like, does Leah keep her composure? I'm gonna give her advantage because she's already in the sort of like eat the crow, bite your lip kind of situation. Well, 2 2s again. That's twice tonight. Wow. Twice. Well, gonna guess she probably fails that. I mean, probably still. I mean, it's a DC 11, which she definitely failed. So I guess Leah spits back a little bit at her. It's like, what would she say though when she spits back? I think she says, I'm apologizing for the loss of your friends. I'm not saying that I'm sorry. That I'm accepting blame for what happened. Which probably doesn't sit well with Imbar either. I think Ott's like, ladies. Look, Imbar, there's no easy way to say this. We need your help. We have a group of people. We're taking west, Split Valley Oasis. And it's a large enough group that we need... Ott's going to come with us. I'm going to be there, but we need somebody else to help protect the group. Ott knew you were in town. Ott knows your capabilities. I know your capabilities. We're trying to get this done quickly. Not said that you'd be interested. Yeah, I think all that's true, so I think we're just going to give him a persuasion check, and Ott's there to back it up, so I'm going to give him advantage. That's pretty good. That's an 18. She convinced? Yeah, that's 14. Yeah, she's convinced. She just goes, alright. Alright. Maybe. Now that you have something on the line, maybe you'll pay a little bit more attention. Really just kind of trying to keep the lid on that boiling pot. Trying to really stuff it down right now and just hold on to it. Keep her composure. So I think they discuss price. And again, I think I'm just going to do charisma checks. We'll start off with a 2 gold. Ott's working with her, and Omer's there, so I think they're all haggling. All right, that's an 18. All right, yeah, we're able to get her to agree, also for 2 gold, which is very surprising. So we're gonna, where's that at? Leah apologizes. Formally apologizes. They agree to terms. Jude. I'm going to give her an insight check. Again, she has advantage, so I think they put together... I think she tells them that they're expecting to head out tomorrow morning. Be here early in the morning. We're going to head out. We've got to collect one party member of our party outside the gates, and then we'll head on from there. So I'm going to give her an insight check with advantage because she has people with her as Imbar sort of leaves. Because I think my natural inclination is that somebody who doesn't really like you is going to help you for a really good price, like really cut you a deal. It seems weird. It seems off. So did they get a read on her? That's 14. Oh, but that's only a 9 DC. Or, no, it's not. That's a 14 DC. Which doesn't matter because it's gonna do it either way. So yeah, all right. I think this is one of the ones where I want to look at. I'm gonna pull out my little description, which I realized as I pick it up and I'm looking at it that I am looking at the wrong thing. That's okay. It's not in the folder in this binder, and I'm not gonna get out the other binder. So I think I want to do one of these. See if this will give me any info. Alright, function, industry, or job. We'll pick up that, like, yeah, this is kind of overpaid, and does Ott have any sort of insight about that? So they do think it's weird, right? Like other people agree. So we'll just ask an oracle question. Does Ott know of the reason why she'd work so cheaply? I think +3 because Ott's the one that recommended her specifically. Yeah, she does. So does she have the reasoning for it? So here's the thing. Is Imbar in trouble? We know of. Yes, Imbar is in trouble. And it's because in trouble, in a bind, in something. Either she's got to get out of town or she needs money very quickly. But we did have that, and I do want to... Let's do the interrupt event, because otherwise we kind of got off scot-free today. So I do want to see... Thing comes up. For our interrupt. Oh, looking at the wrong thing. Oh, very cool. There is more screaming from outside. So we've got, we need to destroy an extraordinary thing. And so my idea was it's either going to be an undead or it's going to be a fire elemental. Because I get the idea that the fire from earlier was maybe set by a fire elemental. And we just didn't know that. And now we're going to come across it. But it also would make sense if it was... the undead. So let's ask the Oracle question. Is it the undead? Yeah, okay. Ooh, follow-up question. Is it the ghast or the ghast men that we can identify? I think that's... I'd almost say that that's unlikely because this place also just has a bunch of undead in it for some reason that we don't know. So I think it's just 50-50. So is this the ghast and or their men? Yes. Is it the ghast itself? No. Alright, so the ghast men. So, are the ghast men looking for them? No. Ooh, are they looking for Inbar? No, okay. So they're just, they're doing something, but it seems relatively unrelated to us. Alright, so we have been wanting to keep a low profile, but man, if we could get some more information on the ghast, that would be really nice. I'm going to say, instead of men, I'm going to say minions. Because the ghast had living people serving it, but I don't think, I can't remember if we had any undeads serving it or not. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. So very interesting, very interesting. I mean, this, you may call this metagaming. I don't disagree with you, but I am basically having an idea about, you know, the stealth. Because I think we're using this system to abstract how they would feel about how close they're getting to it, how much attention they're drawing to themselves. So I think me using the metagame to look at that and try to get the same sort of feeling makes more sense. I mean, I'm going to probably be a little bit more accurate than them, but than somebody might be in real life, but who knows. So if we're leaving in the morning, that's the plan. I think we can go ahead and do something about the ghast here. Now let's look down here at our adventure threads. Do we have anything dealing with the ghast? Oh right, we have directions to the ghast layer. Now I don't think we ever determined is the ghast layer in Karjunton? I can't remember. Alright, so I'm going to roll for it. Is the ghast... because we know the location of the ghast layer. I forgot about that. Is it in Karjunton? I think so. I think +3. Considering all the undead here, it would be hard for it not to be. Yes, okay. The ghast layer. If nothing, we could ask them about Norkruuth, which they might know. All right, so let's make an encounter. We did say Imbar was gone, so it is just the 3 of them right now. And we're going to change this filter from desert and grasslands. We're going to change it to... actually, we're just going to change the creature types. These either need to be undead or humanoids. I mean, the ghouls, I feel like, are the only ones that we fit there. Those would be good, like, mid-level servants, I think. Alright, we can have up to 3 of these guys. How many of these are here? Hopefully not 3. Okay, 2. So we have 2 ghouls. Yeah, which I'm sure are causing a ruckus at night. But we can maybe get some information out of them. So I think our heroes will step out into the street and address the ghouls. Be like, hey, we have some questions about your employer. About your lord. Are the ghouls willing to talk? I think almost absolutely not. -5. They're not going to parlay at all. Yeah, not at all. They're going to take that as a direct threat, and then we'll just roll initiative. Alright, let's look up ghouls. I know for certain that these guys are in the monster manual. Yeah, they're there. Not as bad as the Ghast, for sure. But they still get paralyzed, which is real bad. We definitely don't want that happening. Alright, so they're going on 12. There's 2 of them. They have 22 hit points. Oop. Okay, Ott. Nope. Leah. Nope. Omer? Yep. Omer gets the drop on initiative. Ain't that always the way? And of course, Leah's at the bottom of the pile. Obviously, this is going to turn violent. Omer is going to try to keep his way in the back, and he's going to just sling at one of them. Those aren't very hard to hit, but they do require me to roll at least a 10. So he will miss, and he's going to hang out in the back. We can't really do the help action. I mean, I guess he would dash so he can get far enough away. Or actually, he'll hide. That's what he's going to do. He's going to duck back in the doorway and sort of hide. That brings us to our ghouls. There's 2 of them and 2 heroes, so I guess we're going to do one-on-one. Alright, against Ott. Probably going to hit. Against Leah. I'm pretty sure that also hits. I think Leah's is... Yeah, 14, right on. And Ott's... Yeah, Ott's going to hit too. Dang it. These are real bad. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, so the ghoul's gonna hit one of each of the 2d6 plus. They probably would have done claw attacks, I assume. Minimum damage. That's nice. 4. 4 and 5. And I'm just thinking her first, so... So, she's in a good position. But they have closed... Oh, we need to make those saves, don't we? Alright, we gotta make those saves. DC 10 con save or be paralyzed, which is terrible. It's definitely not a condition we want. That's why we like having Rimefire around, because he does it. Thankfully, it's only a 10. Come on, Lot. Well, Lot's paralyzed. Leah. Girl. Girl. Alright. Well, they both got paralyzed. Oh, that's really bad. It's really, really bad. And the ghouls are unharmed. It's Omer's turn. Omer's going to pop out and to take a sling at him. Unless... Can you use the help action to help somebody save out of it? No, I guess not, because it's not like a charm style effect. Yeah, I mean, he'll pop out. I assume he hit pretty well. They seem pretty... Okay. I guess he wasn't hitting very well. So just giving it to him. Yeah, well, that's definitely hits. So he's going to hit one of them. Right across the dome for 3 points of damage. Ghouls. Well, ghouls have right targets. They're just going to bite them. They get advantage in their crits. So, you know, not good. Alright, well, it definitely hits. And the other one? Definitely hits. Alright, so it's 46. Plus 2. Yeah. 21 points of damage for, and, well, that's gonna just knock Aaliyah unconscious. And... Ott. Oh, Ott actually didn't do too bad. She only took 12 points of damage, so she's actually got 15 hit points left. Okay. Well, that went very poorly. I mean, I guess you're not... Paralyzed. Would have been nice to have Delg here. Oh, that's why. I didn't change this, did I? It's actually would have been 3. Still only medium difficulty, which is insane because they have paralyzing touch. Alright, come on, Ott. Okay, Ott's at least not paralyzed anymore. Wait, you have to save the end of your turn, right? Yes, dang it. So Ott is no longer paralyzed, but she can't do anything, which means she's about to get freaking murked. Alright, one ghoul on her. Gonna hit her. Wait. It would try to do the paralyze again. 5, 6, 7. 7 points of damage on Ott. Shakes her down to 8. Alright, well, at least that happened. And the second one's gonna miss. Alright. Good. Alright, perfect. Leah, you're doing a great job. Lying on the ground. Make a death save. Leah. Girl, you can't roll 1s on death saves. That's real bad. Don't do that. We don't have a potion or anything, do we? Alright. Are some sort of authority going to show up at this point? Because now there's just like open fighting in the street. I also need some sort of Deus Ex to see if they show up. I really should have rolled for it at the end of the last round too. You know, anybody showing up? We'll go ahead and redo the one from last round too. No, okay. Dang. We're in a real bad spot. Omer, what are you gonna do? Omer, you don't really have great skills for this. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. So Omer's actually going to run up. He's going to use his action to try and make a medicine check to stabilize her. Whoa, which he does just barely. Alright, well, she's stabilized. That's good. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. And he's going to swoop her up and use his bone dash action to get back inside the hostel with all the other people. Which is going to make it the ghoul's turn, right? I mean, they're just going to swing it odd. One misses, but one hits. And does 8 points of damage. Which is just enough to KO Ott. Ugh. Dang it. Alright, Ott gets knocked down. The ghouls are going to start moving in, I guess. Leah, I mean, this is something, this isn't, I don't think, official rules, but the way that I've usually played it with a lot of my 5e tables is that even once you're stabilized, you can continue to make death saving throws. You can't fail them, but you can roll a 20 and pop up. Just so you're not just completely out of what's going on at the table. Alright, but she fails. That's Omer up at the top. Omer's going to drop her and slam and bolt the door, I think. Oh, gosh. Oh, I didn't roll for the end of the round. Nope. Nobody's showing up. Oh, I forgot about Igni. I should have used Igni. Oh! I mean, I guess Igni's still around. So Igni will just kind of hang over Leah's unconscious body for the moment, and he is just going to ready that sort of fire breath that he has for if they break in through the door so he can hit both of them. I think that's fair. I guess the ghouls try to break down the door. Probably not gonna be too difficult for them. They're both pretty strong and they're gonna be helping each other. I'm just gonna keep that first one. Oh, that's almost certainly gonna do it. What's their bonus to strength? Oh, just one. So it's just a flat 20. So potentially. Yeah. I mean, I guess I should ask. Really, that should be an Oracle question, I guess, rather than a DC. I mean, yeah, I knew they were gonna hit it. Can they break it down in just one action? They're tough monsters, but they're not that tough of monsters, and they don't have any tools. So I'm gonna say that that's extremely unlikely that they break it down on their first attempt. Okay. But the answer is no, with the -5. So we're gonna get another round, I guess. Ott. Ott's still outside. Let's roll in death saves. Alright, that's one success for Ott. That's good. It's very good. Leah. Yep, we'll let her roll again. Just in case. Nope. Anybody show up at the end of this round? No. It's Omer. I assume that Omer's just kind of holding the door shut. But maybe not. Maybe he'll pull out his spear and also be ready to jab at the first one who kind of falls through. Nobody showed up. Omer's doing that. So we're going to try to break down the door again. So I'm going to give them -5, -3, 0, +3, +5. Yeah. To see if they break through. And they do break through this round. Alright. So they throw both of them in concert, throw themselves against the door, and the door splinters all over the group. And some triggered actions happen. So, gonna get a stab with the spear. I'll take the crit over the natural 1. Gosh, these dice. For 2d8 on the lead guy, which we'll just say for simplicity is the injured one. for 10 points of damage on the injured one. Wait, ghouls don't have a resistance, do they? No. Okay. Not on anything that matters anyways. Just wanted to make sure they didn't have it against bashing, slashing, and piercing. But they do not. Thank goodness. And then they gotta make dexterity saves, right? For the fire breath. Yeah. Dex 11. Oh my gosh, they both failed it. Which means that they're gonna take like... oh, it's just 1d6. Or 2d6. They take 2d6 fire, which they are also not immune to. So they both take 6 points of fire damage. Okay, we're in better shape. Sort of. Ott's up. Ott needs to... Alright. Good job, Ott. You're almost there. That's the bottom. Does anybody show up yet? Yeah, somebody shows up. Somebody who's here to fight the ghouls, right? I think that's very likely. Extremely likely. I don't think it's going to be somebody who's there to not attack them. Though it could be. It could be Norkruuth. Crap. That takes it from +5 to a +3, because it could be Norkruuth. Ugh, that'd be bad. Alright, so they're there to help us. So the guards finally show up. And so, alright, so that happens at the bottom. At the top is Omer. Omer's going to, I mean, there's a ghoul right there. It's really hurt. He's gonna try to get the kill shot on that ghoul. That's gonna hit the ghoul for sure. And that'll do it. He'll take out that one injured one. So there's just the one left. It's gonna start bugging out for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna disengage and run and flee into the night. And so it's just the one ghoul. It's the end of its turn. So we do need to finish up with Ott. I want to keep this in initiative order because it's going to depend on what Omer's going to do. So Ott, roll. High numbers, high numbers. Okay. Ott is stabilized. She's good. And Leah? Does Leah come back up? Nope. It's the bottom. Did the guards show up yet? No. Alright, so we're going to have at least one round. I think Omer, feeling like everything's kind of copacetic for the second, is going to actually dive on that ghoul and see if he can make an investigation check. See if he can find anything on them. It's not great, Omer. But you do have a +4 to it, so it's a 13. Did they find anything? No. Crap. That's a 17. Dang it. Alright, so he doesn't find anything upon first inspection. I might let him have another go at it while we wait for the guards to kind of show up. Well, do we want to wait for the guards to show up? We'll see. Ott rolls for that. Nope. Leah. Nope. What was I going to say? Oh, check to see. Did they show up? Yep, alright, so they're on the scene. Crap. Because, again, that's going to hurt us getting recognized, I think. I think I'm trying to figure out what he's going to do. I think what Omer's going to do is he's going to... Oh, he's not very good at persuasion. Yeah, I think he's going to do that. Well, I guess this is sort of... Technically, that would be a deception check. Not really a persuasion check. I think the idea that I was having is that Omer's going to try to get everybody that's in the bar to rush the guards to give them statements by telling them how important it is to, as quickly as possible, be it so that way you can note down all the details. You got to tell the guards what happened exactly as fast as you can. So here they come. And I think he's going to try to get them to run out there. Oh, unfortunately, it's not a very good roll. I do have +3 to it, though. It's a 12 at least. Yeah, 12 is exactly the DC. So it's successful. So he kind of gets them to rush that, and he tries to take them back to their rooms, because right there at their hostel. Try to get them back to the rooms, and then try and grab Ott, and try to minimize the amount of being seen. So I think I'm going to give that basically so he can have advantage while he tries on his stealth check to try to move these people around without being seen. Natural 20, let's go. Perfect. We'll roll it, but almost certain that they get it. Yeah. Alright, so he's able to sort of get everybody copacetic, and so we're not going to take a whole bunch of extra things because of this interaction, but we are going to take a little bit. It's not good. That was pretty high profile. It makes sense. It makes sense. I just don't like it. Alright. So they got whooped by ghouls. Saved by Omer. He saved both the warriors. This is why we've got to have Imbar. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that down here in the to-dos. Create. Who's definitely going to be like a warrior type, because we have a bunch of experts is the problem. So all of the sidekicks that I have are experts. And they're really great at helping out with skill stuff, and they have the ability to do the help thing. They can run really fast. They can get away from trouble. All that sort of stuff. But none of them are very good at combat. I mean, Ott's fine, but she would be better as a warrior, probably. So it'll be nice to be able to have somebody, and we're going to be able to pull somebody in, and I'm probably going to choose somebody who's got some AC. Figure that out. Because we are so desperate for that warrior. We can't skate by with experts anymore and count them as part of sort of like the combat, because I mean they are in combat. We also, frankly, we might want to. Sorry, I'm just thinking like we could give them some arms and weapons. I mean they can use light armor, and they don't have any armor. Well, he's got padded. Because we've got a little bit of gold. We can get them maybe some. I mean, the spear's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. How I want to do an upgrade for our experts so they can have some better gear. Oh, I guess they could have gotten things off the hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are medium. Maybe I'll check that. But I'm a little hesitant to do that because one of the things that you can roll on the treasures after combat is arms and armor. We just haven't rolled it. So maybe not. I'm gonna have to think about that. This was too easy, said too low. Because Imbar's in trouble. Once Ott wakes up, is she able to give us... Are we able to discern any more insight about what Imbar's in trouble with? Yes. Oh, okay. So actually she knows quite a bit. So I'm just going to say... I'm going to choose an NPC from my 100 NPCs. And then some sort of verb that's kind of going on with them. So let's find out. So... Oh, I assume she just knows like sort of top level things. So that's 40. So we're not going to get a bunch of details probably out of this. It's 40, right? 40. beggar, homeless person, or peddler. And this is one of the times where we're going to not take the literal interpretation of that, but we do know all the way down here in our factions see that we do know of somebody in Karjunton called the Peddler. It's an NPC. So she's in trouble with the Peddler about something. That's very interesting. I like that. Two. Betray or misbehave. So the question is did Imbar betray the Peddler, or did the Peddler betray Imbar? I'm guessing if there's a potentially a bounty out for her, it's Imbar who did it to the Peddler. So I'm going to give that a +3. No, but not at all. It absolutely is. So was it... Oh, did they make her like the patsy for something? Because we do know the Peddler does crime. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now that... I want to put these up in those notes because I'm going to need to update that stuff for the NPC logs as well. And I really need to do that, like, maybe after I'm done streaming here. And not wait about it too long. What was I? Session number. And that bar was betrayed by Peddler and used her as the fall guy. As part. Yeah, I mean, that's just the trail. Which means they were probably doing something they probably real sketch. So it's honestly probably the guards that are after her. And that's why she's trying to get out of the city. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Let's say... I think that's a good place to stop it. And then we can pick up the session in the morning. And what we're going to do from there. Okay, so... Okay. Yeah. Because we also need to heal them for the night. Because they would definitely take a short rest before trying to take a long rest where there's an opportunity that something might happen. Pretty unlikely, but might happen. Yeah, I think they just blow them. No, let's let it ride. Because I'd rather them have all their hit dice. Let's let it ride, and let's just hope something doesn't come after them in the night. It doesn't. Okay. Alright, good. Good. So, long rest. Rest. No interruptions. Update calendar. And sheets. Collect everyone in Karjunton. Travel. So that's Leah. That's Leah. That's Delg. Everybody's going. Everybody's going that we can get out of here. Omer. Aeolus. Arias. Arias is secretary. And, of course, Imbar. So we need to head west to pick up pick up Rimefire in the fire, then north to 290. I think that's a clear place to go. Holding, and we're gonna go west through what's that place name? Not the regular trout. What else over here? Oh, through the through Rimefire layers search area. Alright, yeah. And so that's sort of what we'll pick up next time, and then continue west back to Split Valley Oasis. And we begin to return to where we once started. 25, 26, 27 episodes later, we're going to be right back in Split Valley Oasis, which has been a while since we've been there. It's going to be really interesting to get back to there and have to look back at all the old notes from the location from the very beginning of the game. It's going to be fun. But yeah, that is, I think, where we're going to end it this time. So we'll pick up that next time. We're going to do we're going to get everybody pulled together. We're going to strike out, see if we can get all the way back to Split Valley Oasis, hopefully with not that many problems. We'll get everybody together, and we'll maybe now be able to add more pieces together about Vargrim and what we're going to do about that. This was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging around, checking it out with me. And hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you do, follow, subscribe, all those things. We have the Twitch, YouTube, the blog over at redragonfiend.com. You can check all that out if you want more of this sort of stuff and more general videos and things like that. Definitely check out the YouTube, or just general Dungeon Master, Game Master for tabletop RPG stuff. You can go check out the blog. That's the best place to get that information, because I've been doing that for many years. But that's it for me. Like I said, we're going to end this stream. We're going to have a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to start that recap stream where you can follow Leah's adventures from the beginning up through the first 20 or so episodes and get caught up with all of that to close to where we are now. So if you want the full backstory, that's the best way to take care of it. But that's it for me, I think. Just trying to double check. Have anything else? I don't think so. I think we're good. But yeah, we'll wrap up this one, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, guys? Take it easy. Bye.